Want to go deeper with lobbing Scorchers? You know, scratch under the surface, get down even dirtier than we already get? Become a YouTube member. Sometimes things just get a little too spicy, a little too weird, and a little too loose for the general public. And you know, the people to see that are YouTube members. We're talking about exclusive bonus videos, the podcast after show, exclusive written content, and little bits and pieces of information before the unwashed masses know about it. As a member, you not only get access to all of this amazing content, you get a badge next to your name and a slew of amazing emotes to use, not only in our live stream chat, but also in our comment section. And yes, we do have an emote for Jesus Ferreira, Go Snack, and Paul Rothrock. This is the best way to help keep us independent and keep us building out this crazy YouTube brand that we call Lobbing Scorchers. Hit the join button down below or hit the link in the top of our description if you're on mobile to join the ranks and become a Lobbing Scorchers YouTube member.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to another Postgame Live and IRL Postgame Live. Got both of us here in person. Noah came through. Watched the second half of Seattle Sounders versus Atlanta United. What did we just watch?
What just happened? I don't know.
Ending?
The feed cut out for like 30 seconds there at the end. I'm not sure. I saw the Sounders were winning, and then all of a sudden I see Andy T just going.
It's a 2-2 draw for the Seattle Sounders at Atlanta, which in and of itself isn't an ideal result. But if you had told me that was going to be the result before the game, I wouldn't have said it's like the end of the world. But they obviously should have won that game. That was a tragic ending.
Oh my God.
And I think the most tragic thing about that ending, it's not even that they lost to a team that they should have beat.
Correct.
It's that we were deprived of an Osaze game winner.
Yes. Like the fact that that's really like, I could care less about the points. I could care less about really wanting to get into third and being 1 point off of third. And like those extra 2 points could have been, a really big deal. I think that Osaze being robbed and Brian kind of like yelling at his whole team to get back on the field after they scored what they thought was a game winner. Wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall in that locker room, Ari. I wouldn't at all. But
yeah, anytime you don't close out a game like that and you drop 2 points on the literal last play of the game. It's the last play of the game. That's a draw that feels like a loss.
Yeah,
it's a draw that feels like a loss.
And Osaze could have had 2 as well.
Osaze,
he could have had 2.
Like if we're talking about positives and negatives, like I think Osaze getting a goal at all, let alone in that spot, what looked like the game winner at the time. That's great to see. He's going to probably get more run in Leagues Cup. We've all been saying at different times that it's worth seeing at least what you have in this kid. So for him to come on and score the go-ahead goal in stoppage time, it's like a big moment for his first MLS goal as well. So all that is cool. It's just not going to feel good in the moment because of that concession at the end. We got the pressers, I think, starting right now. So there's no video feed I have to turn on or off or on?
No, you'll have to do it in the plus with the screen there. Yeah, and then you should be good. But I wouldn't put it on just yet. Yeah, we can.
It's just Matt.
You'll see. Yeah, Matt looks cute, but we don't need to have.
They're
him.
Muted. We're muted. All right.
Yeah,
we'll have
good.
The pressers look like they're getting started shortly.
Well, why don't you hit quick? Because I missed most of the first half. Why don't you hit that quickly?
The first half was really bad.
Yeah. First half was really bad.
It was really bad. Not just because Seattle conceded the opener.
Yeah, it'll be good. Once you see the players come out, you can swap over.
All right. I'm just
getting
paranoid that they're going to be able to hear the pod over the Zoom call.
No, they can't hear us. We're muted. We're good.
It was sick that Osaze got his first MLS goal in that spot, but it's just like a back-breaking equalizer at the end. It was a pretty insane shot by Miranchuk.
Dude, like someone said,
that's a pretty
was it Barry or someone else said, or it was Dusty Potato said that shot was insane. I feel like you can't really be too bad. That's literally, I saw that and I was like, that's soccer, folks. Like that is literally the biggest. The way he drove that ball. I've literally, okay, this is total inside baseball bullshit, but I play pickup and I'm a really bad shooter. I've always been. And so I've been practicing a lot and learning about that like driven shot where it kind of just dies, but just like goes so, you just have so much power behind it, like the follow through of your leg. He literally hit that ball perfect. I mean, like there's not a goalkeeper in the world that is saving that ball. He hit that thing perfect. And he had enough space when he collected it where it wasn't like anyone could have closed him down better. That's was just like
a goal like that. The question is like, could you have closed him down before he shot it? I mean, I don't know, but like for that to be a goal, he has to hit it like as perfect as you can. So I think, like, I know it hurts in the moment. I think it is a bit of a tip your cap situation. That's their DP number 10 or not. He's not their number 10, but he plays as their number 10 sometimes, and he's their designated player attacker. So he hits an insane shot at you at like the worst possible
at 10,000 miles an hour.
At 10,000 miles an hour.
Top bins.
And like I said, like the first half, Seattle didn't look good offensively at all.
Yeah.
And Atlanta United gets the first goal on another own goal that's pretty unlucky.
Yeah.
But I honestly thought Atlanta's lead was deserved even with the fortuitousness of the own goal. They had Luke Brennan put one off the post, and then they had at least one other chance where I was like, if that had been a goal, it would have been deserved.
Yeah.
So I felt like 1-0 at the half was pretty much fair. But if you guys watched the preview show, what did I say? What did I say?
What did he say?
I said Atlanta United might score first in this game, and if they do, like, don't
worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah, they love to do. It's their thing. They love to do.
And I was kind of realizing while I was watching this game, like, why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, chat, tell me if I'm like projecting this or if you noticed the same thing. But to me, it looked like when they went up 1-0, they kind of closed up shop. They were
bunkering.
They were bunkering and countering. They got a couple good looks on transition, so it's not like they didn't have any chances or anything. But like for the most part, I felt like they were in the first half as the home team. They were just not letting Seattle knock the ball around, trying to absorb the pressure and putting a hella numbers in the box and not letting any crosses find anybody. That's like what you do in the last 20 minutes of the second half when you're the road team.
Correct.
When you're that's like, you can't do that. Like you're up 1-0 at home. You have to stay like on top of.
Well, apparently you don't.
Like otherwise you're going to give up the lead like that. And that's kind of why, I mean, you guys know I watched this team a lot this season. That exact thing where they score first and then give the lead up because they're playing too conservatively to try and protect the lead. That's been happening to them all year. So even when they got the own goal and Seattle didn't equalize in the first half, I was sitting here like, I already know like that they're going to find some way to give up the lead. But kind of going off that, what I was thinking was like, all right, like what's the best way to break down a team that's in a low block like that and put numbers behind the ball? You gotta get after them in transition.
Yeah.
Like you have to not be knocking the ball around when they're already got their defense set. You have to win the ball off them, get out in transition, hopefully unbalance them and find your opportunities that way, because Seattle was not like able to get like anything against their low block until the very end. But that's exactly what happened. They got De La Vega out in transition and he absolutely bammed.
He did.
And that was good to see because he's coming off his best game in MLS. He gets another goal. So that's great.
the feather in the cap I was talking about, Ari. I said, this is a bad team. And I think you would agree with me. Let's be honest. Both of those defenders were doing Looney Tune cartoon sounds. I don't know what the hell those two defenders were doing. And he has, regardless, that buildup that they have, if he doesn't score that, if that gets saved off the post or something ricochets anywhere, dude, you've got Moose and Rusnak right there. Like that was really good build-up play. And honestly, like, yeah, you have to give it to him. Listen, I said this on the podcast. I said, you know what? He's got to prove it. He's got to prove himself. If he does it again, okay. I'm ready to be like, okay, like we're warming up. Let's see. He's gonna get his run in Leagues Cup. We're gonna be able to do it. But I mean, undeniably, I don't think he looked that good in the first half. So like whatever. But he came back out and he was able to avenge himself with that play. And what a nice shot. So I mean,
I
that's all
I thought the whole offense was not good in the first half.
Yeah.
Very not good. And De La Vega, he was the one guy that I thought was like kind of doing stuff. But really, the first half was Atlanta sitting on a 1-0 lead in the first half, letting Seattle knock the ball around. Seattle not really being able to break that down, maybe sending a cross in that gets cleared out or trying a through ball that gets intercepted. That's basically what the first half was.
Yeah.
And the second half was a lot better.
Yeah.
They should have won the game.
Yeah.
So they played well enough to win the game.
Ari, I would hope that De La Vega was trying to play his best for his new team. He's got a shot in front of his potential
I think Jeremy
new team.
made that joke in chat because of those. Hey, he stays for now.
He can. I mean, I'm cool with if Atlanta want him. Can we trade him, Cleach, for De La Vega?
Ooh,
just straight up.
Glad you're not the GM.
Just straight up.
Cleach, they waived him.
Oh, not Cleach. Miranchuk. I'm sorry, that's who I meant. There's just a lot of random names that they have. They're just yapping.
Okay,
you're good.
I wish I could.
You can't.
Right.
You're muted unless you are. You're muted unless you raise your hand. If you use the raise hand function,
like, he's starting it. So
if you use the raise hand function, then they can select you and they unmute you from the thing. We're good. Yeah. We're good. I do this all the time. I am scared though, because there was one time where I was watching the presser, just like when we weren't doing a post game, and I was shirtless, just in my bed, just like eating chips. And I was like, dude, if my camera and mic come on right now in front of Brian, I'm gonna just be like the most embarrassed man of all time.
Like, that's a dangerous game to play. We're still waiting on the pressers to start. We'll fire them up as soon as they get rolling. I think I heard him say that Osaze was talking after his first MLS goal.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see the Schmetz demeanor. I mean, he's not going to be happy.
No, he's not going to be happy. I think Jake was asking, why are we having this conversation? There was a rumor that Atlanta United are interested in Pedro de la Vega, and that is
unverified credibility. But I
think it's verified. I think there's been verified sources. Right. I believe Nico was on the case there.
Like, he is the type of like Almada is a similar profile, like, you know, in terms of where he's at in his career and stuff. It is the type of guy that they would go for. But no, I mean, like, now that he's actually playing like a DP, like, De La Vega stays.
De La Vega stay or go agenda.
Jake, we're gonna do calls after the pressers, and then yes,
you can call in. Yeah, once the pressers hit, post presser, we'll let anyone call in. What was my other thing I was gonna bring up? Nuhu. We got to talk about Nuhu. Ari, we have to talk about Nuhu. Nuhu assist and 2 really good balls into the box. Is he the best attacking fullback in MLS? That's really like the question. Does he need to be? Here's the question: does he need to leave to the Cameroonian national team and or be suspended to come back and play like an absolute beast? That's the question, because it seems like every time he shows his worst, he gets suspended.
He comes back and is like locked in.
Yeah, like he's just like I don't know what to do with that information
on our show, and I think this whole fan base has been deservedly and rightfully on Nuhu's case for the myriad of issues that have surrounded Nuhu in recent weeks, from multiple ill-advised red cards to Club World Cup crash outs that potentially cost the team a result against Botafogo that would have netted them a couple $1 million or $1 million or something. You know, it's been a rough couple weeks for the guy. So, you know, let's give him credit. Like, he has the assist on what should have been the game-winning goal, and all around, he didn't do anything.
He didn't get sent off.
Yeah. He didn't get sent off.
He did not get sent off. He did not miss a mark that led to a goal.
Now, is not getting sent off the highest bar
that
you can set for a defender?
Probably not.
No, but it's one that he has not been able to clear recently.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. Like, good on him for getting the assist. Perfect ball, put it right on Osaze. And then shout out Osaze, man. man, it chaps me that he's not going to get the game winner for that.
Yeah, in our hearts. In our hearts, it counts as a game winner, just like Danny Leva scored on his debut.
I'll be interested to hear what Schmetz has to say about the game winner. Like, I don't know what to think as far as like, because, okay, regardless of whether they could have closed the guy out or not, it's like, could you have managed the situation better to like keep possession more or not have them in a situation where you have their DP lining up a shot from distance like that? There's ways that could have not happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a sick goal. Like I can't even. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that was not a sick goal.
What about Ryan Kent's 20-minute cameo? How are we feeling about Ryan
10?
Kent?
But I was saying on Under the Lights this week that I've I staked my.
Oh, okay, here we go.
All right.
For your time as well. We're going to get going. Maz, I saw you with your hand raised first.
Pop it.
Reminder to all media, if you do have a question, go ahead and hit that raise hand function button. Maz, we'll start with yours.
Thanks. Just a quick congratulations to Osazo. But hey, Christian, how much of a reminder a game like this, the classic cliche of you got to start fast and then you got to finish fast, and just what happened today in this game?
Yeah, overall frustrating.
Are they underwater?
Game, just because I felt like we weren't consistent throughout the game. We've yet to have a complete 90-minute game since the Club World Cup, I would say. And so, this is a moment that we need to learn from. I think that we could have won this game not on our best day. And then the last goal takes a lot of sting out of the emotional high of Osaze scoring that second goal. I think that we just need to do a better job of staying keyed in, focused in, and keep the intensity for the entire 90-minute game.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go over to Jada Evans next. Jada, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks. And thanks for the time, guys. Osaze, can you?
That's a good reference, Jeremy.
Talk a little bit about your goal. I know with Alex's cross, you didn't seem like you had the right body positioning, but with Nuhu, it seemed like you kind of fixed those things and got it to go in. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, the first chance came quick, like as soon as I came into the game, and as a striker, you gotta be ready for those, and after a miss like that, you gotta just move on to the next. You gotta keep thinking for the next opportunity, and with me, the next opportunity came just as fast, and just had the right body orientation. It was just a great ball from Nuhu, and simple to finish.
And then kind of on the other side, though, it seemed like you and Danny, did you guys have miscommunication on that last play that gave up the goal, or what? Can you kind of talk a little bit about that part?
I would say it was a great finish from the player. I guess it was a miscommunication between me and Danny, who was step, but it was just a great finish.
All right, next question will go to Jeremiah O'Shen. Jeremiah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Christian, if you're sort of assessing positives and negatives from this game, what do you think weighs out? Is it more the positives of, most of the second half, or you kind of burned still about the way the first half went out and obviously the ending as well?
I think the positive is the reaction to coming out strong in the second half. I thought we started the second half well. Felt like after we conceded, and there were some really good moments of possession in the second half. We felt in control, even down 1-0. The game opened up a little bit, but I felt like we handled their transition fairly well. And look, I think that this is another game where we're scoring 2 goals on the road. Like, we're scoring a lot right now, right? Like these are games that if we tidy up certain things, if we make less errors defensively, we win these games. And so if we're going to take something positive away, it's the reaction. to how poorly we played in the first half, and also the fact that we're scoring goals, and the rest, has to come. We need to be tidier with the errors that we make defensively.
All right, George, we're going to come your way next. Please go ahead and ask your question. George, go ahead, please. Jorge.
George.
Sorry, trouble unmuting. So, Osasi, you play with number 95. I imagine that was not your first choice of number. Do you think you're going to keep it now with 95? Does it now have a new significance? And how happy are you with your first game, obviously, and your family history on the league?
No, I'm very happy. The number adds up to number 14, so I'll keep it in the legacy.
I didn't know that.
No matter, and yeah, it's good to continue, like Steven said, on scoring MLS. There's a lineage that is happening, so very happy.
All right, we'll take one or two follow-ups if there are any. Jeremiah, do you have one?
I do not, no.
Okay, no worries. Maz, looks like you do.
Yeah, hey, so
I do
just
not.
in terms of, you said you got the touch too early, but how did you refocus then? You get that touch and it's too early, so to speak, and then what went through your mind to make sure that when you got the next chance, you were ready and followed through and executed?
Just my body orientation is just a natural thing of my brain throughout the years of, once you always miss a chance as a striker, it's normal. But it's the reaction, it's how you take the next chance is the most important. And, this stuff happens all the time, so I'm kind of used to these things and adapting to certain situations.
First person you're going to call when you get done with this press conference?
Yeah, everybody knows. Called Mr. Dwayne, my dad.
Thanks.
All right, Jada, why don't you close us out?
Thank you. Christian, with the way that the opening half went, I mean, was that a matter of did you guys need to, or yourself, did you look at stats and such, or did you kind of feel that you guys weren't, the typical selves that you had been this month?
Yeah, I think, there's been some heavy legs. I think we've played a lot of games this year already, more so compared to most teams, it's far travel. So I do feel like, we probably opened up the game in a slower manner. I think Atlanta also, we're on the front foot. I think that they're feeling the pressure. For them, it's do or die at this point with where they are in the standings. So I think a combination of both. I think Atlanta came out hot, and there are moments that we need to be smarter in the first half. Being on the road, heavy legs, and so. A little bit of both, but in the end, I love the reaction. I think that we could have done a better job in both goals, to be fair. And then the second goal with tired legs,
we don't ask questions. The last time we asked,
avoid,
I couldn't unmute my mic.
Giving them so much.
It's a technical challenge.
To get a shot off.
Thanks.
Guys, thank you both very much for your time. Safe travels home.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Media friendly reminder: if you have a question for head coach,
if you mute the,
can I mute this shit?
No,
Oh,
they'll be
like
quiet.
on
Just do
here.
that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, do that, and then he'll come back once they won't say anything for a minute.
Okay,
Once Brian comes on, they'll start chirping again. But
got it. All right. Yeah, that was Christian and Osaze. What did you think of Christian's take that as tough as the ending was, 2 more goals this time in another road game, 8 goals in your last 4 games. So basically saying like we're scoring a lot right now.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of tightening up the defense and not making these errors that are costing us concessions, and then we'll be chilling. That's basically, I mean,
this for me, this game, and like I think I'm gonna feel even more like this as I get more days away from it. This is an MLS road match, right? Like MLS road matches are hard. This is 2 things that just don't go your way. Could you have had a third? Absolutely. There's definitely a world in which you could have had a third goal in this match, especially if you play way better in the first half. They still came back out in the second half, played incredibly well. Pedro de la Vega gets a great goal. Osaze gets a great goal. you're scoring. You're scoring on the road, and you're going to win the game if not for a 1 in a million golazo. You know, it's still a road point. It sucks. Like, you want that on the table right now. But like, honestly, like, is this such a bad result? Like,
No,
it doesn't feel like that. This isn't a result that makes me feel like, oh God, they're like, we're not doing well. I think what Christian said is true. Like, they're able to score. They're able to get, they're able to come back in the second half. I feel like that's something we have not been able to see previously from the Sounders. So the fact that they were able to have a really slow first half, look like shit, and then kind of roll back in, that's a pretty big deal. And speaking of the man, this is Brian Schmetzer joining us.
Coach, thanks
on
for
Lobbing
taking the
Scorchers.
time. Straight to questions.
Not really, but kind of.
All right, Maz, you were first again. Why don't you go ahead and lead us off, please?
Hey, Brian, what is the teaching moment in trying to calm down a team? Because when you went ahead 2-1, your players, I saw you look like on the broadcast, you were telling them to calm down, stay focused. I mean, what's the teaching moment of that?
Well, look, the teaching moment is, not drop too deep, try and stay high, press higher up the field. But they put us under some pressure and had some clearances, one on the right and then knew who's on the left, where when the ball goes out of play, the tendency is to kind of just and catch your breath. On the play where the guy scores the goal, I mean, we needed to push higher up the field, and Osaze maybe could have come back a half a yard and, just force a negative. But really, overall, when you take a goal like that, I mean, it was a tremendous strike. It's hard for me to criticize the team. I mean, they put everything into the game. And, Osaze came on and scored a great goal, and it's just one of those things.
Thanks.
And Jeremiah, go your way next, please.
Yeah, did you have any conversation with the referee about the added time? I mean, it was about 45 or 50 seconds longer than the original stoppage time. Did they give you an explanation as to where that came from?
Yes, they did. From the goal celebration and our goal, they added 1 minute to 99.
And then I don't know, does that play at all into the way you feel about this game when it comes on a last play like that, or is it one of those things where you focus more on just having to play to the whistle?
You have to play to the whistle. There's no other way to do it. I mean, if there's an end point and you see it up on the scoreboard, the fans can see it, the people on TV can see it, but the players aren't looking up at the scoreboard. They're focused on trying to just play out the game until they hear the whistle. There's just nothing you could do there. I mean, Osaze scores what, in the 96th? And so there's 2 minutes to go. He adds a minute because we take 45 seconds to walk back and they kick it off. I mean, again, it's just one of those things.
All right, Jada, over to you.
Thank you.
Jake Stack and Brian.
Right, with the first half, though, is that how do you kind of explain that? I mean, you guys didn't have any shots on goal from the stats that I have, and just didn't look like yourselves in a sense.
Well, I mean, we didn't play exceptionally well, but look, MLS is hard. That was a desperate team. They've got a $40 million payroll or whatever their payroll is. I mean, they've got good, expensive players. So we were expecting a hard game. And, the goal that we took, there's some things maybe we'll look at. The offensive, kind of stuff, we didn't generate enough, but that was due to our opponent. You have to sometimes give your opponent credit.
And then what was there much then, I guess, said at halftime beyond kind of switching up a little bit of tactics, or did you have to get them going at all?
We changed different tactics, both defensively and offensively. Defensively, we were trying to push them into ball recovery zones. We weren't pressing right away, so there was a slight change there. In the attacking movements, there was space behind Miguel Almiron. We needed to get a guy higher up the field on the right-hand side. So the tactical adjustments that we made at halftime certainly worked.
All right, George, please go ahead and ask your question.
Coach, just on the 2 goals, on the first one, was it just purely a Pedro decision, or did you identify that there was maybe some vulnerability on the first post from Guzan. And on the second goal, Nuhu normally gives a very good defensive shift, but not a lot of assists. How did you rate his assist to Osaze and then obviously Osaze's goal?
Well, it was an excellent cross by Nuhu. He doesn't have many assists, but that doesn't mean he doesn't work on them in training and do some things. And this game, it was a perfect cross and a perfect textbook header. Osaze was under pressure. He was marked inside the box, but he's a big, strong kid, and he was able to get in front of his defender. And then Pedro, that was all instinct, because again, Williams was dropping off a little bit because it was 3 against 1, 3 against 2. And so when he dropped off, then Pedro saw the opening and, made a good play.
All right, time for 1 or 2 follow-ups. Maz, did you have one?
I do. Hey, Brian, what did you think of your center back play? And that's the first time they've both played together in a while. And obviously, Aymar gets the assist with the pass to Pedro, but just overall.
Okay, is that a first assist or secondary assist? Because Pedro dribbled 70 yards down the field, so good on Aymar. I hope he has an assist bonus in his contract. The center backs are good. I thought Jackson played a little bit better.
We'll take calls after the pressers, folks.
He stepped into some areas, won some balls. Aymar, he's just getting back into fitness. He and Obed on that first goal needed to communicate a little bit better. But they were both fine. They're both super, super talented center backs. Plus, we've got plenty of cover now. Kim Keehee and Jonathan Bell who can play there, so we're good.
And you get my healthy 100%, felt good, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we'll reassess when we get home. That was an emotional game. We got to assess their emotional recovery, but also their physical recovery, and we'll let you guys know when we get back home.
Thank you.
Emotional recovery. Have you heard that before?
Take it back. You're the second to last hand I see, but go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, obviously Pedro getting another goal in this game, a good sign, probably good for his confidence as well. What did you make of his overall performance, even if you take the goal out of it?
Good. Good. Look, nobody was real good in the first half, so you can kind of maybe throw that out the window. What did he do in the second half? Pedro's got to just understand that he's got to stay connected with the midfield. He can't, hang out and cheat and, not defend, but that's actually how we scored the goal. So, as a coach, you're like saying, okay, what's the happy medium? And certainly super talented kid, and he's in a good run of form right now. He feels confident. So, that's a plus and a bonus. And, I expect him to continue that improvement.
All right, George, why don't you have the last one?
Coach, shifting focus to Leagues Cup, can you talk a little bit about what are your goals for the team, and if we're going to have an opportunity to see players like Osaze and Brian Kane to have more continuous minutes on the team?
We'll assess the physical, health of the players when we get back into Seattle. They're going to get a couple of days off. And then we'll tackle Leagues Cup. Leagues Cup is a competition that, we want to do well in. That's the mantra of this club. You cannot just, push things aside. That sets a bad precedent. So we are going to try and go out and win. And then, yes, to your question, are there going to guys that get some opportunity? For sure. They'll get opportunities, but, we'll dictate that again based on, the team, the opponent, the tactics, who needs a break. All of those things will factor into all of our decisions.
Coach, thank you for your time. Safe travels home.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you as well. We'll see you for Leagues Cup.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Anything stick out to you there?
Emotional recovery.
That's
tight.
Let's riff for a couple minutes and then
we'll take calls.
We'll take
quickly.
some calls. Anyone is.
Why don't you toss in the link, and then while we riff, we can.
Okay, yeah, good
then
call.
People
good call.
can.
This is.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you pin this? Can you show me how to do this?
Yeah, you got to do it on the YouTube. on the YouTube thing. I can do it.
Okay, all right. Call link right there. If anyone wants to queue in, lay down some takes. 2-2 draw at Atlanta United. I don't know, man. Now that I've had a few minutes to process everything, the way I think about like a good defensive team and what defending well really means is it's like not conceding stupid chances, easy chances, bad goals. And if you get whammed on by a freaking worldie from 20 plus yards, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Also, you know what it isn't though? 11 likes? 11 likes on this video right now. Come on. Okay. You're literally watching right now. There's 99 of you in here. And so all it's going to take is 2 seconds to like the video to help us in the algo and to help other people pop in here. So I'm just going to, we're not going to take a single call until we get to 12 likes. Okay. And that's just how it's going to be.
We got Green Blue Tribe in the queue. Our first caller. Are we actually?
Look at that. Now we're already up to 25. Do you see how easy it is? Thank you, folks. Thank you.
All right. Green Blue Tribe doesn't have a video on, so we're going to bring you to the stage and just hope you can hear us. Tribe, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Loud and clear.
How are you feeling after a 2-2 draw at Atlanta United that had an Osaze go-ahead goal, but an unfortunate game winner?
I'm feeling a bit disappointed because we're sort of not using Kent when we should. And I think Kent could help us score a lot more goals. He's shown that he's really good playing more direct, getting in very good crosses and making sure that other players understand the passage of play. And I think that if we have him on, we'll be able to score maybe an average of 4 goals a game even. I'm not sure.
Ooh, cooking. What do you think about him playing on the right side?
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
I think he can play on either side. He's just one of those players what I saw when he was at Rangers. He can play. He can either play on the right or the left. He can either play also. He can even play in the center attacking role if he is asked to. He's just.
Watch out, Bert.
He's a very, very good player that can do anything he's asked to do.
You know, it's definitely a topic worth discussing. I was saying on my Thursday show that I still have my Ryan Kent stock, even though it's been down, I think, among the fan base recently. And my kind of logic was just that first of all, I believe in the things that we saw in those first couple games. I don't think performances like that and moments like that are like just come out of nowhere and disappear from a player's skill set. I think all that stuff is absolutely stuff he can do and can continue to do. It just hasn't happened for him in the last few weeks. But like, I am not on the write him off and bury him on the depth chart train at all. And I'm hoping that he gets more minutes in Leagues Cup to see if they can unlock that again. Because he hasn't been effective in the last month or so. But
he's getting 10-minute cameos though.
He's getting 10-minute. He can't. But here's my question, Tribe. With the lineup right now, I think De La Vega is officially a hot hand that you need to be starting until otherwise.
I love him.
And then so it would be for Ferreira on the right, which I don't hate, like a mix and match rotation there, trying Kent out on the right, giving Ferreira some time rest, rotate out sometimes. I think it's a good shout. Inverting putting De La Vega back on the other side, that worked for him. So maybe that would work for Ryan Kent, right?
He could. I honestly think you could even have Ferreira on the bench and have De La Vega in the middle, then have Kent on the other side, along with someone like Rothrock.
Okay.
I dig it.
I mean,
I have one more thing to run by you. What do you think of a new signing like Roman Celentano for when Fry retires?
I'm Andy T. I'm Andy T till I die. Personally, Roman Celentano is really fucking good though.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be bad, but I've got to be honest. I love Andy T.
I'm not that passionate about it. Like if they signed a pedigree vet like that, I wouldn't hate it. Although I'm sort of the mind that devoting like a lot of financial resources towards goalkeeper it's just not something that you always need to
Roman
do.
Berkey.
And I like the idea of an in-house guy taking over as well. So it's not something that's like like I said, that I'm super locked in on. But wait, is Celentano, what's the deal with him? He's a free agent?
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be just a salary thing.
Once Vargas is sold, I mean, that's 15 million, isn't it? Plus the Club World Cup money. So you have a lot of room to do something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what they actually end up selling Obed for, but I think it's going to be 10 plus.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tribe.
I have one more for Tribe here. Okay, Tribe. You seem like a players guy. You seem like you know ball in terms of like guys. So I want to ask you about the Noah Ohio rumor, right? So
I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. He's big. He can also dribble. He's like Will Bruin except with better feet. I'm very, very excited for him.
Okay.
Tell us a little more. I want to hear it because like I haven't really.
We don't really know.
Hype
I don't know.
So
that
like
much
I want to lay it down for us.
Okay, so he's obviously Dutch. He's gonna come in with that sort of Ruben Amorim sort of experience when it comes to play. He's really, really good when it comes to just dribbling, getting out of tight areas, like you saw from Obed Vargas today. I would want to say he's like Rui Diaz, but he doesn't have the same path when he usually drives forward. He can also play very centrally when it comes to passes through the middle. I really like him because he's very, very fast. He's very speedy. He has speed almost like Jordan Morris. Although the only issue is he is a bit injury prone. But besides that, I think he would be an absolutely outrageous signing for us. And I'm very, very excited for that young man to come here.
Okay, that's
love it.
That's the most Noah Ohio hype we've heard yet, and I'm open to it. Like I don't know much about him. My thing on it has been like I try and like be manage expectations with a U22 signing that's not like a super high price tag. The track record within MLS of those hitting isn't very it's not very high hit rate, but that doesn't mean it can't hit. Like if you scout it up right and you do it on the right player, you can profit mightily off signings like that. It's just kind of hard to do. But if he's a profile of guy like you're saying that could live up to that, then I mean, hell yeah,
love it.
All right, 100%.
All right, we got James in the queue behind you, Tribe. But Tribe, great call. Thanks.
Yeah.
For,
all right. Cheers.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Let's go. Cheers.
Go Sounders, man. Well, let's hit this super chat before we hit James.
Yeah,
James can wait. He can wait. He is rocking a really
we got
nice
a $5 from NWA 987. Thank you so much for the support. Went out for a friend's birthday, got drunk, and fell asleep after 12 minutes, and we did not look good in those 12 minutes. The first half was bad, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I didn't watch the first half, so I'm glad I didn't watch. I had to have Ari recap for me.
It's good that you didn't. Like, it was I don't know if it was the worst half offensively they've had this season, but it was like pulling teeth for sure. But like MLS road games are like pulling teeth sometimes. I think I even said it in the lead up to this game. Like they're playing a team that's way worse than them, but they're doing it on an extremely long road trip. And I think MLS, just as much as any league, like I've learned the lesson, you can go into any game thinking that you have the advantage on paper. And then when the game starts, because of whatever the factors might be, fixture, congestion, injuries, heavy legs, whatever, it ends up like pulling teeth, and you just have to survive, gut it out, and oftentimes hope you get a point. So the fact that this game was looking like that in the first half wasn't like the craziest thing to me, but I think the thing that stings about it coming off of it is it's like, yeah, it went like that in the first half, and then they scored 2 goals in the second half and should have won the game.
Correct.
Should have won the game anyway. So that's
let's see here. Now we've got James. Let's see what his thoughts are about how Rusnak helped get this draw in this match. James, how are we doing?
Welcome in. What's going on, man?
I mean, the answer to your question would be he fouled Gregerson there to set up Pedro's goal. So that I mean, that's a form of assist, I suppose.
Let's go. Come on.
The man plays 4D chess.
Yeah, he's
James, what did you think of the result? The getting the lead there right at the end and then blowing it actually right at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was a total roller coaster. I mean, because I thought that was the best cross I've seen from Alex in maybe 3 years. And then
Alex's cross was awesome.
Yeah. Osaze hits it with his face. And it just felt like it was going to be one of those kind of days. And then he scores from an equally improbable cross from Nuhu.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's all right. And then, the Russian that everybody in Atlanta hates puts in a goal of the season contender. So just
oh my God, he's like, that guy is like a bust for them.
Yeah,
their fan base hates him.
He was one of the most expensive players in MLS. I can't remember the exact fee, but I think it was over 10 million.
It was over $10 million. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that how many players have even come in for that much money? So, I mean, he would have had to have been Ladero quality, and he very much hasn't been up until the moment he decided to take a shot on us. So
yeah, apparently against the Seattle Sounders in second half stoppage time, he becomes a god tier designated player in MLS.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you.
I thought he looked kind of good in the first half. I mean, I thought he looked tidy on the ball. He was, dribbling through people. He was making passes. I was like, I don't understand why they hate this guy so much. And then second half, he dramatically fell off right up until he scored the goal of the season. So, but I thought, definitely to build on the previous point, the conversation from the poor hungover individual there, it was definitely not our worst offensive half of the season. That was San Diego. Away, which was probably the worst half I've seen us play since the Kansas City game that got Siggy fired. So it's like, that's such a low baseline that when people were like, oh, this is one of our worst halves, it's like, no way.
I kind of like don't even include that in the the rankings because it was so egregious. Like, I'm grading it on the normal curve.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But I thought, it was just, I thought, maybe the last couple of games we've sort of seen a path with the style that we need to go, because that first half, the reason it was so terrible is because we went back to the horseshoe of death and it was just awful. Just tons of passing around the middle, then out to the wings, and then nothing happened. But then Yamar just yeets one down the field and De La Vega gets onto it and scores. Maybe we need to be more of a counterattacking team. Maybe we need to work on absorbing the pressure and not being so possession focused.
I don't know if it's like they need to be a counterattacking team, but in that situation, didn't it feel like Atlanta was bunkering in the first half? Am I crazy? Like they were up 1-0 and they were sitting back.
Oh, they absolutely dropped off. I thought they were quite aggressive going forward until they scored, and then they absolutely dropped it off.
Yeah.
And I imagine when you've got, you saw that run that, I'm going to say his name wrong, Latte Lav made, that Obed had the miraculous recovery run on. You can sort of see why they were content to bunker and counter, because obviously that guy's fast, that guy's strong. So, I mean, they obviously had a plan there that was interrupted by the boundless energy of a 19-year-old. But the horseshoe of death was absolutely not working. Not only was it not working, it was horrendous to watch. And then that's kind of the second breakaway goal that Pedro de la Vega has had. And even beyond those, a lot of our goals have been punishing in the last few weeks, punishing goalkeeper errors. There was that one. Who had the really terrible one? Who
Zach
kicked it out? Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Zach
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah. And then a bad clearance in the last game for this one that ended up with that Rusnak goal on the empty net. Maybe we just need to do the Minnesota thing, absorb pressure, and then punish on the counter.
We would have to be good at taking set pieces if we were Minnesota, and we were just talking about this. We're terrible at set pieces, and because I know you're a brigader, but like you're a quality brigader. Last year, Albert Rusnak was honestly really good at corners and set pieces and stuff, but it seems like he's fallen off a little bit. I gotta get your perspective on it from a brigader.
I think that I don't know the reason for the drop off. Maybe losing Morris as a target is part of it, because Morris did score some of those, including it wasn't a Rusnak.
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
But it wasn't a Rusnak corner, but he did score the one that João Paulo put in against LA in the playoffs. I have said for a while that they need to take Rusnak off set piece duty, not only because it hasn't been effective, but because I think that if you take away that opportunity to get second assists or primary assists and up his stats that way, it's going to encourage him to do more in live play, because he wasn't up to much today. So I think that if you give Pedro a shot,
I don't mind the idea of letting someone else take him just because they haven't popped it.
I agree. There needs to be a change.
Well, on corners, if you give him a dangerous free kick, I still probably want him taking it. Although De La Vega, I mean, set pieces are theoretically in his bag. So I don't mind changing up at this point. Cause like even watching the game today, there was a couple situations where Seattle got fouled in a dangerous area, and I was just like, all right, I mean, that's sick. Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, Jesus Ferreira taking a corner. I don't know. There's like tons of options. Just mix it around.
Ferreira was good at free kicks for Dallas.
Yeah.
I do think that, I mean, one of the problems that Schmetzer has is because we don't have that Ladero, that Rui Diaz kind of game changer. I think Schmetzer, and this is to his credit, this is not a criticism at all. He finds what works. He rides it until it stops, until it's just burned in the ground, and then it stops working. You know, the Morris breakaways really started to dry up. It worked really well when he subbed him in for Rui Diaz. Kind of dried up towards the end of the second season after LAFC kind of broke that code and just played a super deep line. Set pieces, maybe the opponent has decoded it. And so he's got to sort of move on to the next thing. That's just what he has continuously done over the last few years. And I don't bet against him to find another thing. You know, maybe we do become Minnesota light and just keep trying to spring De La Vega out there to hit it from distance. Could work.
At the very least, I think something that they could have done more of today is sometimes when a team is just in a low block like that and you can't break it down, you almost have to like yield them the ball a little bit and then try and win it off them and get out on the break. And I was even like right before the De La Vega goal, I was like, they got to like try and get out and transition more because this team is literally putting 6-7 dudes in the box. And
6-7?
Any cross, like any through ball, it's just not working. So you got to try and unbalance them. You got to try and get after them that way. And then sure enough, that's how the equalizer arrives. So it's
try some distance shots. You know, Christian, it's not talked about much, but the guy's got a cannon.
Yeah.
So try to get him.
De La Vega has some of the best distance shooting, like I think in the league right now. Honestly, like in terms of like not how many he's scored, but his ability to hit those. Like he's really good at that. So
I feel bad ragging on him because I know he's a kid and it's really not his natural position. But I don't think we should try more of Baker Whiting at left back. You know, I know it's not entirely fair because it's Almiron. It's one of the most expensive players in the league, but it's not even so much that Almiron cooked him a few times, which he did, but that first goal, Baker Whiting's just not reading the ball correctly.
Yeah, he got beat there pretty bad.
I think that it's, you know, if we're going to go for it, because we have a decision to make, his contract's up at the end of the year. I don't think there's an option. If we're going to continue with this, then somebody's got to get out there and mentor him. Because I just don't see it. It's not even something like Costa Rienzi where it's like, oh, there's rough around the edges in parts, but I see there's potential there. I just don't see it with Baker Whiting, at least as a left back.
I'm opposite of you because I see the vibe. I see the vision. I think he needs to firm up some more defensive things. And it's like run of play stuff that you can't really train on the ground. Like reading that ball in the lights in Atlanta against one of the greatest Major League Soccer players of all time is going to make you a better defender, but also like, yeah, he is inexperienced. And like for all of the shit that I give Nuhu, he's most likely, if he's in position, going to be able to close that down or at least know how to play that ball better. And that comes with experience. And I think that Reed's vision and play out of the back makes the center backs better as well. Like I really think that, and I called this out on the podcast of like when John Bell was playing last match, he was better because Reed was yelling at him and telling him to make these line breaking passes. And Reed sees the field a lot better than Nuhu. He knows how to combine way better with Pedro de la Vega. I think the reality is like you're sacrificing you're sacrificing the defensive quality of someone like Nuhu so that you can have that like field vision that Reed has and just hope that you can train him up to be a better solid defensive player, if that makes sense. Because I don't think you're wrong that it's like maybe it's not his best position, but like we don't need another winger. We don't need another winger. We need a wing back. And so if you can forge him into that while he's young, that would rock. I am an apologist for Reed. I will be honest. Like I like him as a player. I like him as a person. And I really like just like his vision, and that's very much like the type of archetype of player that gets me excited. So I can see where you're coming from. I'm also defending my boy.
He just got to get. He got to shore up his.
He got today.
Well, and then there was also the Latte Loth breakaway you were talking about, where Reed was the one who was like had a chance to cut that out, and then Latte Loth got by him. I mean, he got burned by $38 million worth of transfer fees today. So I mean, it is tough to know what to make of it in isolation. But James, you got a couple people behind you. But is there anything else you wanted to get out there about this game?
Thoughts and prayers to the injured referee.
Yes.
And I cannot.
You're wearing his colors in his honor, right?
Yeah, and I cannot say how disappointed I am that Baby D-Row didn't do his dad's celebration. I was so the arms and the walk. It's all right, but yeah. Thank you so much for taking my call. I hope you all have a great evening.
Have a good one, James. Pleasure as always.
Always good to talk to you.
All right, we got Jake up next. Jake, all right,
you ready?
He's giving us the way. We're gonna.
Jake said he was crashing out, so we got to calm him down.
Jake might have tossed back a few. All right, he's got the squad with him. How are you feeling, Jake? 2-2 at Atlanta. Almost a D-Row, or not D-Row, son of D-Row game winner, but then an unfortunate concession at the very end.
Sirs, am I the Jake, or am I like? There are like several Jakes on this, so I need to make sure it's.
Oh, okay. You might be a different Jake.
Hey, I just wanted to ask. Do you guys?
Everyone wants to ask.
Do you guys know the documentary?
Wants everyone to know that he's
Becoming Zlatan.
Let's
Becoming Zlatan?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. Is it good?
It's the best documentary, the sports documentary ever, but. Because of Pedro de Gavea's struggles, I thought that maybe we'd all have I'm sorry, I'm running from people. I think Pedro de Gavea is doing well, and he's done the best thing for us for a long time. And now that we have a 2-2 and everyone is saying that we should have won, I wanted to get your thoughts.
On De La Vega specifically?
Yes.
Sell him to Atlanta.
It's been just great to see him look like a DP. Like that's sort of, I think when Noah and I were going back and forth on it on the last podcast, like all the caveats mentioned of like he needs to sustain it and it's only one game and like that this doesn't necessarily mean he's arrived. That all is true, and it's still true even though he got another goal in this game. This is still like early in his theoretical breakout, but for me it was an important step first of all to see him dominate a singular game like he did against the Quakes. And it was also just encouraging to see that he has like performances like this in his bag, like being able to dominate in a home game against San Jose, take it on the road, get a big goal at Atlanta.
All right.
What a DP needs
you did exactly what you said in the last game. You said right before we did all this in the Lobbing Scorchers, you said if he did what he did in San Jose and he did it here, then his stock has increased.
Correct.
And he did exactly that.
He didn't
and
look.
We all went and fucked it up. I went and fucked it up. I went to Atlanta. I flew on a thing. I went down there and I helped the Sounders fuck this thing to fuck.
Oh, you were at the match. No wonder.
I'm in Seattle. I'm sitting here on First Hill, but in spirit, you guys, I'm with you every time. I'm in a closed space. These people are chasing me right now. I had to run. And so the whole point is becoming Zlatan.
Yeah.
In that documentary, there's this whole thing about how, I'm the lion, I'm the dragon, all this other stuff. And it turns out when he was playing in Sweden and he was playing in his low, mid, like whatever league, he got hurt. And they sent him to Ajax on a stretcher. They sent him there on a stretcher. And then he becomes Zlatan. And while he's in Ajax and he does this garbage, everyone's talking about how he's not worth it and he's not in the right place. And then he becomes Zlatan.
So we need to send him to Ajax. We need to send him.
No, this is our guy. They sent him to us. He got injured a year. Keep Pedro. Let's stop the discourse. Just let him cook.
Okay.
He's going to be the greatest MLS player who ever lived.
Someone.
If we let him go, it's on us.
I don't think the conversation of him actually getting sold is like that serious of one. Like it's fun to talk about theoreticals, but like I don't have any expectation. Like if him starting to play well and increasing his value, they would just be like, we need that for this team.
All right, no, he's the GOAT. He's going to be the greatest.
Pedro de la Vega is the GOAT agenda. Thank you, Jake, for calling.
That's what I'm saying. Let's do this. Let's cook this up. Come on.
I love it.
2 games. Dude, he shot outside the box like a boss. He's on his
Zlatan arc. All right, we're gonna keep it moving to Jeremy, but Jake, thank you for the call, man.
Much love. Drink another beer
Appreciate
for
you
me.
tapping
Drink
in.
another beer for me.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. All right, we got Jeremy from Cascadia FC. Is that?
Yeah.
Give me the thumbs up if I got
He's
it right.
pointing to the hat.
All right.
He's
I'm always not sure if I got the name right.
Jeremy, first of all, let me say thank you. Thank you for beating LAFC. What an honor it is to be able to celebrate you going down there and being the good luck charm. So that's all I have to say. Shout out.
I'm still here, actually. I'm in my hotel room in Englewood right now. Am I like a little laggy? It looks like I'm laggy on my phone.
You're pretty laggy, but we hear you okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
they
good.
don't
That's
like
good.
us.
No one needs to see my face at all, but they can see this hat, which is very cool. Very cool Cascadia FC merch. I noticed y'all were talking about Noah, Ohio earlier.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do a quick little plug that my colleague Michael Martinez did write a nice little piece about how likely that Noah, Ohio transfer is. It's up on the website right now.
All right.
So that's
I'll dive
pretty
into
cool.
that for sure. I got to learn my Ohio. So
yeah, I mean that it's bad enough that Cincy and Columbus are the talk of MLS right now. We got to add another Ohio to it. So whatever.
Listen, Ohio is the center of the universe. And here's my question. Is this the most TikTok named player that could ever come to MLS? Like, dude's gonna have Ohio on the back of his name. That's like whatever the kids say, Skibodi, Ohio, or something like that.
I don't know what the kids say. I'm 26 years old and I don't have a TikTok account.
Okay,
so,
well, see, that's where you're lacking because I'm 25 and Ari is 43, and we
understandable.
Both have
Yeah. Oh man, but I do believe that a lot of I can't remember what the earlier caller was who was talking a lot about him. That's the opinion that my colleague shares about Noah, Ohio. I think he actually he used the word Will Bruin, who is a word. He certainly isn't a guy at all. But
he's a podcaster.
He's a podcaster now. So I mean, good. He's entered our profession.
He does voice reads for the Sounder at Heart Podcast Network. Fun fact.
That's actually pretty cool. Proud of him for that because he's no longer on the field and scoring goals against Portland, which he does like to do.
He did.
But this game. Which, by the way, I didn't watch like the majority of it. I was out in Santa Monica, but
it's good. We should get your opinions on it then. That's for sure.
No, but based on what I did see and what I can ascertain from this, that somehow it's a good result, and purely because going on the road, particularly to an Eastern Conference team, is always tough in this league. Just going on the road, period, in this league is very tough. So even if you drop 2 points from a it's not really a 1 in a million. He did that against Miami last year, as Ross Smith was so kind to point out on the podcast on the broadcast. You lose 2 points due to that shot. Like it just happens, like the important thing is, once again, the way that the team rebounded in the second half, the way that Pedro de la Vega scored again. I feel like since he cut his hair, that's what turned it around for him, right? It has to be the haircut.
I said at the time, whenever an athlete cuts their hair, they're like trying to reset the vibes.
Yeah, we did say that.
And that's like what he was doing. And it seems to have worked.
I cut my hair and like I've scored a couple goals in Sunday league. So I think that could be like.
I just real quick, I want to clarify something. I'm not actually 43. Okay.
He's 45.
I'm not actually 43.
32. He's 21. He's 21, guys. Just turned 21.
Just a little guy.
I agree with what you're like. The result is fine. Like a point on the road, I'll usually take it, even against a bad team. Like that's the thing. Like I think you gotta realize is like the when you're talking about a road trip of this distance, the quality between the teams in MLS doesn't like make a difference in the way that you would think it should. It just doesn't. Like those games turn into slogs a lot of the time. So like if you told me before the game they were going to draw that, I'd be like, fine, take the point and come home. But like just the circumstances of like being 10 seconds, 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds from winning the game and getting 2 more crucial points in the way. It's a draw that feels like an L. Like it doesn't, maybe it won't in a couple days, but like right now it is.
Well, that depends on how the emotional recovery goes, guys.
The emotional recovery. Okay, here's my question. You've been in LA. Are you doing emotional recovery right now?
I mean, last night, last night after I left BMO Stadium with a bunch of LAFC fans who were completely oblivious to the fact that they had just lost, I ran into this stray cat in the parking lot, and I spent like 2 to 3 minutes just like trying to get it to come over so I could pet it. It did not want to come over. It was very interested in just like the random piles of cat food that were just on the ground outside the stadium. I don't know. It just didn't feel real in a way.
We should acquire about the Happy Foot, Sad Foot guys. They probably know the lore of this cat.
I'm 90% sure they were sitting behind me, and I asked them if it was Nielsen who tried that bicycle kick, and they just like did not respond. And I was like, this is like for my work, guys. Was that Nielsen? Because like the way the press box is at LAFC, I don't know if you've been there. It's all the way in the corner. It's kind of like Lumen, but it's like directly on top of the corner flag, but like diagonal a little bit. So it isn't like you're looking like straight at the field. You can see the offside lines from that.
Was it Darren or Travis?
I couldn't tell. I just looked at the seating chart because I'm like, oh, who are all these people here? Because like I don't know any of them, and like I try to like meet people and be nice whenever I go on the road to cover the Timbers, because usually I'm the only Portland representative on the road whenever I go. But yeah, I was
it
just
dude
like,
with blonde hair or not blonde hair?
I think he had blonde hair.
Okay.
Like I said, last night was a complete blur, and mostly just due to my own sleep deprivation.
I was gonna call Travis and harass him and see but I think he's on a boat right now, so I'm not gonna. He owns a boat, so that's probably why he didn't respond to you, because he thinks he's cool because he owns a boat now.
Yeah, well, it is a pretty good day to be on the boat if you're in LA, so I can't blame him at all for that. The other thing I really like to say, I'd like to make one more point before I cede my time. Minnesota came back against St. Louis. They scored 2 penalty kicks. St. Louis had a man sent off. I don't understand how, like, I make a joke, like there's a running bit that I have about how the Sounders can't keep getting away with it. And it looked like today they were about to get away with it until they didn't. But like Minnesota also falls into that category, because they actually conceded the first goal in this game, and they somehow managed to get, which also was from a penalty kick, mind you. This game ended 2-1 with all 3 goals being from penalty kicks. And somehow they're able to come back and get 2 penalty kicks of their own and get a St. Louis player sent off in the process. So but Minnesota is also in the they can't keep getting away with it tier.
It's unfortunate to hear that, but it was always going to be a lot to ask for St. Louis to behave competently in that situation. I didn't have my hopes particularly high on that, but it's annoying because it sounds like that they actually almost did it.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes a really great team to go into St. Louis and lose. So that's all. That's all I'm going to say on that. But
Can't argue with
yeah.
that.
Oh,
Are
wait,
you
actually,
excited that we're gonna have to play each other in the playoffs or what?
I mean, I don't want to say anything about playoffs right now because I still feel like
Playoffs.
just the jostling for seeds that's just going to keep happening within the West. Like LAFC, everyone was thinking like, oh, they're just going to shoot like right up the field, shoot right up the table again now that their Club World Cup journey is over. When in reality, like their team is 99% Denny Bouanga.
Yeah,
and
he
I don't
doesn't
know.
want to play sometimes.
Oh, did you guys see that? Remember the guy they got for the Club World Cup?
Dil Rosso?
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. No, he was there.
Good use of the
Wait. But Ari, I was told that if you didn't use this window, if you didn't sign a player, you were, what was the word? Incompetent? Something like that. I was told by the aggregators that I was insane. That it was malpractice. Well, how's that going for LAFC?
Good use of the window. I mean, I guess it's kind of sick. They had a player on their team for
40 days,
like 6 weeks.
They extended his loan by 1 day so he could play in that Portland match. Isn't that hilarious?
They did, and actually, based on what I saw, they like really needed him for that too, which I find even funnier because you are LAFC. You should not be needing an extra game of Dil Rosun like at home against a Timbers team that is just not good at all on the road, aside from yesterday, which was once again very, very nice to see.
Well, we appreciate the Timbies for that.
Yeah, I always think it's funny whenever LAFC loses at home because I don't know if you guys know this, they've only lost 18 games at home across their entire like MLS. Existence.
Yeah, but they've only been around since like 2025, so that's like, you know,
that doesn't surprise me, honestly. Like they have had a lot of years where they're just like a freight train in that building.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, anything else you wanted to
plug your own stuff?
I'm wearing this really cool hat right now. It's because I'm a co-managing editor of Cascadia FC. We cover every single Pacific Northwest soccer team, which actually earned me a bit of ire from some Timbers fans because they saw that there was Sounders content on the site. And I said it's called Cascadia FC, guys. You know, the whole region, the cup that we all fight for. They did not like it. We actually lost some paid subscribers due to that too, which I actually find
paid sub and then not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They
if you paid a sub
it.
and then get mad that there's extra free content,
yeah, they were
like, what are you doing?
They didn't want to see any Sounders stuff on there, so they just canceled their subscription, even though they've been subscribed for like years. I took quite a chuckle at that. Even if it's money out of my pocket, like that's just really funny, and I have to admire the pettiness. But once again, frowny face. But some of that Sounders content you can find on there is that aforementioned piece about Noah, Ohio, which I actually think is pretty good, very illuminating. Very well done by my co-managing editor, Michael Martinez, to get that done. You can find it at our new website, cascadia-fc.ghost.io. That is all from me. Thank you guys, Ari and Noah. You guys are great, and I thoroughly enjoy coming on here whenever you allow me to.
Oh
we
yeah,
love having you on, Jeremy.
Likewise, man. We'll catch you next time.
All right.
We got Jo.
We have our overlord. He said, "Is there another blog being plugged? It's time for me to break onto the scene and make sure I plug my own."
We got Sounder at Heart overlord
Claps all
Jeremiah
around.
Oshan on the show. Jeremiah, I guess.
How are you feeling emotionally? First of all,
like,
are you going to be taking some emotional rest? We'll be
emotional recovery.
Emotional recovery.
It was a roller coaster. Like at minute 94, I was like, okay, a point is fine, whatever, who cares? And then they get the goal, and it's, whoa, this is a mirror. This is great. They deserve it. Fully deserved.
Ari, literally, I was like, we need to change the title to last second game winner. He's like, yeah, but that's gonna jinx it. And I was like, nah, bro, we're winning this. And then it immediately jinxed it.
Yeah. And the contrast in reaction between when the Osaze goal went in my apartment, and then so when the Osaze goal went in, we were both like, oh,
we're jumping up and down.
And then the Miranchuk goal went in, and we were both like,
I mean, I couldn't even get mad about I was mad about. I will say this: when the ball went out, I was like, "Blow the whistle! The game's over. Game's over." Whatever.
Yeah, you asked that question. Did you ask the officials about that?
I didn't ask the officials, but I asked Brian, and Brian said that the officials told him. I mean, and whatever. Like, I think he's probably right. Like,
was it that egregious long of a goal celly?
No, but they did. It wasn't that the celebration was so long. I think it was that they delayed the restart to just check for offside and.
All right.
I don't know. I don't love it. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was great, but
woke VAR made us lose this game. That's my new bit.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to also say I did hear the plug on the other blog. I believe that blog was also reporting that Utrecht was asking for $10 million.
Was that the rumor of the
That's where the rumor came from. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can't speak to any
Utrecht was not asking for $10 million. I'll just say that.
Okay. Were they trying to hike the price up?
Maybe. I mean, I think they pay. I think the fee they seem to have agreed to that is I don't know if you've seen the latest report is that they've agreed
doesn't read
on a
Standard
fee.
Hard, Jeremiah. Come on.
Right.
Hack
They've
website.
agreed on a fee, but they're basically deciding if Ohio actually wants to come out here or not.
Since we're talking Noah, Ohio, it's a good opportunity to get our Noah, Ohio super chat.
Thank
Rhombus
you, Super Chat.
Labs, thank you for the $5. Noah, Ohio is second only to Johnny Utah from Point Break, which is the first best, worst 90s movie ever. I actually have never seen Point Break. Does that make me
you gotta fix that? Point Break's
culturally
great.
All right. That's on my list. Point Break. Thank you, Rhombus. Appreciate
We'll
you.
use that $5 to rent the movie at
Don't
Blockbuster.
watch the remake though. Make sure you watch the original 90s
Okay.
version.
All right.
It's Keanu Reeves, Patrick
love
Swayze.
Keanu.
It's good stuff.
Wow, Keanu and Pat Swayze in the same.
Yeah,
ensemble.
Anthony Kiedis, I believe, is also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's the beacon of my childhood, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. So,
no Ohio.
Let's talk about the game more. Let's talk about the
let's
game.
talk about the game.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Because obviously the ending, it was unfortunate. There's no two ways about it. Anytime you're ahead with literally 5 seconds left in the game and you give up the equalizer, that's gonna be
on the literal last kick of the game.
That's gonna be a draw that feels like an L, at least in the immediate aftermath.
I'm going to say this. There are draws that feel like L's. I don't think this is a draw that feels like an L. It's just a draw that does not feel as good as it should. Because I don't feel like a loss.
It's a road draw that doesn't feel as good as it should.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean they were second away from winning the game. So yes, it doesn't feel great, but I think to say, to me, the Colorado game was a draw that felt like a loss, undeniably.
Because it was at home.
It was at home. You had a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you had a 3-0
lead.
Yeah. You looked like shit in the first
and
half of this game.
I think what you're saying
really
is fair
deserve
too,
3
because
points in this game.
They were also very close to it finishing in a 1-1 draw, which that would have felt fine to me if it had ended like that.
That's my point.
So yeah, no, you're it's just I wanted the Osaze game.
I mean, don't get me. They've dropped now 6 points from games they absolutely, or not absolutely, they could have very easily won. They dropped the points against Charlotte, which a game they should have won. They dropped the points against Colorado. They were up 3-0. You got to win that game. And they dropped the 2 points here. So that's 6 points. You throw those 6 points in, they're contending for the top spot in the West. They're almost a supporter shield contender. You add 6 points. Now, ifs and buts and truck nuts or something. I don't know what the saying
Hell
is.
yeah.
But, it's frustrating that they've dropped points like this. I suppose it's good that they haven't actually lost games that they more should have won. This was a game they played like crap. They played about as bad of a first half. What I said is that they played the worst half that they had played since Vancouver.
It was bad.
It was very bad. I mean, they had 2 shots, something like 0.03 xG.
0.03,
That was just for Noah.
Yeah, 0.03.
That was for Noah.
Yeah.
And
whatever
they
that
looked
means.
like crap. I mean, they didn't look like they knew what they were doing, and they came out and they looked a lot better in the second half. And I was, it was funny because I was thinking, I think about this every time they're tied late in the game. It's like, well, I just take how do I feel about 1 point?
Yeah.
And I had bargained myself into feeling okay about it, but also when you go into this game, you feel like you should win. Atlanta sucks.
They're not good.
Desperate team or not, talented or not, they aren't good. And
Nope.
and they showed why they aren't good. They did everything they could to give this game away.
The way that, and I've been watching them a lot this season, so I've seen them do this before. The way they bunker when they get the lead is just like
very weird.
It's weird, but it's also like you guys want to know why you blow the lead every time? You want to know why? It's because you don't try and score when you have it. So the other team is probably eventually going to capitalize on that. Like even in this game, it was among actually the most egregious of examples I've seen from them this season. That own goal was in the 4th minute or something?
7th minute.
7th minute. You can't close up shop in the 7th minute.
We did it, folks. All right. Job's done.
And didn't it feel like they were putting numbers behind the ball, absorbing pressure, and trying to counter basically from the own goal on, like in the first half?
Here's a little stat I think that illustrates your point. The Sounders had 56% of possession in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, you're at home. You've got 3 of the most expensive players in MLS history on your roster.
Mm-hmm.
Act like you want to win the game, man.
Yeah.
It was Seattle knocking the ball around in their end the whole first half and not doing anything with it.
No, they weren't doing enough.
You got to be more proactive than that if you want to actually win the game.
Right. I mean, to me, it felt like the Sounders were kind of like trying to find their breath, and they were just trying to they almost looked like at times that you just wanted to get to a half and sort of reset things. Like, they did not look very proactive in the first half. That's a problem. But, and so in that way, Atlanta was there for the taking, and they should have, they had it. Sounders had it, frustrating.
I mean, I do think for me, there's an element of all right, if he's going to hit a shot like that, he's going to hit a shot like that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Could they have prevented the situation? Maybe.
I think
could Osaze and Danny have communicated better to
if you want to break down if you want to lay blame on the second goal, I do think Osaze probably knows he needed to be more proactive in the way that Danny had an assignment there. He's moving over, I believe, from Almiron at the time of it. So it's like he's a little late, but he was occupied. Osaze was just sort of in space and wasn't really doing anything out there until he suddenly realized that Moranchuk had an open look, and so he's a little late to close him down. If you really want to get, nitpicky, that's probably where the breakdown is Osaze needs to be tighter to Moranchuk. But also, I'm not going to sit here and beat up Osaze. He scored the what we thought was the game winner, 3 minutes earlier.
And if he takes that shot 100 times, that's probably the one time he hits it like that.
He hit it perfect.
It's an unsavable shot. I saw a couple of people asking if Fry gets that. No one gets that.
No one gets that. I literally said that. I was like, there's not a goalkeeper in the world. That is a perfectly driven ball that is just dead straight in the air. You can see how much power he gets through that with the way that he follows his leg through and kind of crouches. He lowers his plant foot and kind of just drives through that. That's literally the perfect shot.
It's a great goal.
You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see how. I mean, I always think it's interesting when they show the replay. Almost every goal, right, looks like the goalie almost got there. Almost every one, almost, right. That's the margins are so thin. Thomas is nowhere near that ball.
And here's the thing too. Even if Thomas was closer towards the center of his net, he's not. He's just not saving.
He's still not getting it.
He's not getting it.
He hits it in the far side netting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's in the top corner side netting at an angle that is impossible. He's blocked by a million defenders. I mean, that's not happening.
Yeah, I'm tipping the cap. GG's.
Yeah, that's a sick ass goal.
If it was a situation where
average Major League Soccer goal,
they got like the game state was super crazy and they got out on the counter and got a tap in, I would be more pressed about it. Like if he's gonna hit that, then God bless him, he's gonna hit that.
Yeah, or if it's, like the first game of the year, that's also Yamar own goal, where there's no reason that it has to happen. It's you're sort of defending. We can go back and find other examples of the Sounders giving up late goals where they're just sort of under pressure and you're just sort of scrambling. This is just a great strike, and yes, you could have prevented it. There are ways you could have prevented it, but you also tip your hat and you go, okay, we'll get a next time.
And on the topic of what we were talking about with a draw that feels like an L or whatever, that like I know Atlanta's season's already over anyway, but that's not a good result for them. Like drawing. No,
it's not. It doesn't help them really at all.
It's a much better result for Seattle. Like
undeniably a better result for Seattle.
Yeah, so,
undeniably. It also, I think, to some degree, it also maintains their taking a loss in this game would have been bad.
Yeah,
but getting a point here is within the range of acceptable results. I'm not going to say it was a great performance, but it was I think there's been a theme of resiliency sort of building up here. And I do think it was another sort of resilient performance. They don't get the 3 points they kind of worked themselves in, but they deserved. They kind of gave themselves. But
yeah, I have a question about resiliency. Nuhu Tolo, okay? Nuhu Tolo versus Reed Baker-Whiting. One, I want to hear your take on that. And then two, his resiliency to come out there and whip in a cross and have an assist.
Nuhu assist. Nuhu to Osaze goal.
Yeah, that's great. I'm happy for Nuhu. It was a great cross. Let's not take anything away from it. But and I will say Reed, I thought was kind of a borderline disaster in the first half. He had a few kind of
like two or three
real bad mistakes. He had the mistake on the goal, on the own goal, where he misplays the ball over the top. Mm-hmm. He had another missed tackle where Lotte Loth was able to get in behind. Obed Vargas makes a great recovery tackle.
That was an insane run.
There was maybe one other little mistake, but then in the second half he was fine, and maybe even good. He had a few good line breaking dribbles. I thought he was effective going forward. He didn't really get.
He had the secondary on the goal, the Pedro goal. He had the secondary. I don't know if they're gonna.
I like that.
The cameras. Did he get a secondary assist?
No, but I'm saying like he was the one who played it to Yamar. He collected the ball and played it to Yamar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. Like we didn't get a good shot of it on the shoot. You're probably right. I don't know.
I'm right.
The camera work was something today.
Yeah, well, Atlanta. Those Atlanta folks.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
But so I think I don't. It will be interesting to see what Brian does with the left back position, because I don't think that Reed was great. Nuhu also had Nuhu got beat kind of weirdly right after he came in, and it didn't look like he had his legs for some reason. Like, what was he? How does he not have legs? He's not played for 3 weeks.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Nuhu. I don't know what's going to happen there. I do want to see Reed get more time, just because I think he has genuine promise, and you can sort of live with the learning. Like, he's not better right now than Nuhu, but I do think there's on some level you want to just give him a chance. And Nuhu is not, a great assist aside, I did not think he was necessarily great. I mean, didn't need to be. He didn't have to be that involved today.
He played for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Nuhu redeemed himself, but it was good to see.
I think it was a positive step towards redemption.
For sure.
He didn't get sent off.
See, the thing with Nuhu is he good? Is he I'm not even in that debate at this point.
He's a professional soccer player. He's a veteran on this team. It's not a question that he's good. He's a good player. It's
right. Exactly. This is about whether or not you can trust him. And I don't know that you're only going to get that over time. Yeah. You're only going to, and so you kind of, I think what we saw today is that he hasn't been excommunicated from the team. Obviously, he's still got a role to play on this team. And eventually he will probably, if Reed does not take a stranglehold on the position, you assume Nuhu will eventually get it back. And this is a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's so good. The gap between them is not so big that I all of a sudden am clamoring for Nuhu to be back in the lineup.
James with a crazy stat here. RBW gets sent off more per minute than Nuhu. Well, yeah, but adjusting for minutes.
What about your De La Vega takes? Another goal, coming off his best game. He comes up in a big moment again. What do you make of the little ascent here we've witnessed in the last couple weeks?
Oh, it was great. It's great. I think it was, I just listened to you guys' podcast. I actually listened to the two podcasts in the last few days. The one where you guys rail on him, and then the one where you make Noah eat shit over it.
Yeah.
And Noah,
thanks for that, by the
I gotta
way.
say, Noah took it well. I think he actually articulated a very sensible argument, which is it's not about one performance. It's about showing consistently what you can do. And he said, we want to see him. We all want him to do well. I actually appreciated, we don't get a lot of nuance in this podcasting space, and I think Noah showed some nuance there and willing to
I'll give him
take a big opinion
here. Let's go.
For that.
I'm
take
not
a big opinion, and I think Ari did a good job of holding your feet to the fire. And are we doing a performance review right now? Is
Yes.
this what this is?
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was a good performance from Pedro. He wasn't as influential as he was last week, obviously, but it was great to see him get a goal. It was a well taken goal. Let's not take anything away from the goal. He cheats high there, which was funny because Brian was talking about how he needs to not be doing that all the time, but yet he got the goal. So what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
But it was not an easy, there's nothing easy about that goal. They do a good job of closing down the angle. At first, he's on a 3-on-1 almost. You almost want him to pass it, but there's not a real clean passing lane.
He had his eyes to goal the whole time.
Yeah, he had his eyes to
passing
goal
that
all
ball,
the way.
dude. You can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He was never. I mean, and I appreciate you saying that because this is exactly what I said. I said, listen, he doesn't need to have the same match dominating performance that he does at San Jose. He just needs to continue to be consistent in what he offers.
Yeah.
In that first half, he was bad. Like, I don't think he was, or not bad. I guess he was not that great.
He wasn't no one was good in the first half.
No one was good in the first half,
and he did not do anything to shine, to change
Correct.
the narrative. He was totally fine. He wasn't one of the players I thought was bad.
Yeah, I think bad is the wrong term, but like, to what I said is, like, you don't need to take over every game.
Yeah.
You just need to have consistency, and scoring a goal is consistency. Getting an assist is consistency, and you can't argue with that. And that's what I said is, like, build that baseline, and he's building that, and he's going to get to take over. He's going to get his Leagues Cup run, and we're going to actually get to see a really good sample size of what he can do in this position, which very clearly he feels the most natural about. And then the question becomes, what the hell was Brian Schmetzer doing? Why was he not playing him on the left? That's the question it becomes.
I mean, it's a fair question, right? It's a fair question. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I think it's a little convenient to say, what was he doing when he's not, now that he's performing? Who knows? Maybe he needed this. Yeah. Maybe they built up a lot of good habits in him when he was on the right, and now they're able to unleash him. I don't know, but it's good. Like, I'm happy to see him doing well, obviously. Like, it's great for the Sounders. It's great for him.
Yeah. Well, and I don't actually mean that, like, against Brian. Like, I personally don't think that. He was playing the hot hand. Paul Rothrock was fitting in to the exact mold that he wanted in that position. Paul Rothrock gets back and defends. But yeah, no, like, I think it's cool that he's tossing him out there and seeing Ryan Kent. I'd love to see a little more too. We said, hey, maybe toss him on the right, see what happens. I don't know.
Throw Kent on the right has been
I thought Kent showed some good moments today.
I've still got my stock. I'm buying
it. It's pennies right now.
I'm not writing him off. Jo, we got one last caller behind you, but
yeah,
so
and I'll hop off. I have to actually I have to write the recap still. So
okay, missing the deadline. I see. All right.
Last second goal, changing the complete narrative.
Yeah,
of,
I'm not going to get into the weeds on what happened today, but I'll just say I have to write it.
All right. Well, we'll let you get to it then. Thanks so much for hopping on.
Sounderheart.com/LS. Subscribe. We get a cut. Jeremiah gets the rest of it. Let's go.
Have a good one, Jo. We'll catch you on the next one. All right.
Marathon.
We got Hunch last in the queue, and then I think I'm down to call it. So no one
as well. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no one else hop in the queue. This is going to be the last call. Hunch, you are on the stage right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah. What's up, man? Sorry it took a minute.
No problem. That guy had a lot to say. I don't know. Maybe he should get like his own podcast or something.
He should get his own podcast.
Maybe start a website,
blog.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like
TV
that.
show.
Hunch 2-2 at Atlanta United. A point on the road, but a game that the Sounders really should have won. How are you feeling?
Well, so I attended. I'm actually here in Atlanta right now.
Oh, hell yeah. How was it? Like the stadium and the atmosphere and stuff.
You would think that people are hard of hearing in that stadium because holy crap, the speaker level, like you could not talk to the person next to you when the game was not happening. So that aside, it's a fantastic stadium. I will say that.
It's been on my list like since they joined the league. I gotta get out there.
This is my second time, and I've actually never really traveled to other games, but this is where I grew up. So I'm visiting family and came back to visit, and all cards on the table, they're all season ticket holders with the exception of one particular family member who has chosen Seattle. So credit to him.
the correct choice.
I mean, and he represented, he went to enemy territory here representing Seattle. So credit to him too.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, God, that first half was boring as hell, man.
I was bad. Actively bad.
Really bad. Yeah. Like, I mean, maybe rose-colored glasses. I'll take some 3-3 games and some 3-2 games over 0-1 with an own goal. It's like
it is
I'm wasting my time now.
It's a good point because, and I think I've mentioned this before, but Noah and I, like during the dog days of last year, when this show was first really getting going, and it was at a point in time where the Sounders were not playing well offensively or scoring at all, we said a lot of times, like, look, man, like the results are the results, but like if you're gonna drop points or take L's or whatever, like can it at least be like can you at least be scoring goals and like having it be end to end or like doing something more than that's like feels like pulling teeth watching this team a lot. So having said that so much last year, I don't want to sit here this year and crash out over when they are like, they dropped a couple points today, but they scored a couple goals and played some good footy in the second half. So it wasn't
it's like we were reflective on the previous 3 matches, and it's like, man, the discipline, man, the allowing the teams to come back. But it's like you took 2 wins and a tie in those last 3 matches. Yeah. That's what you should be focused on. Now, was it sloppy? Of course. And if you said, oh, you're going to have an away match to the East Coast and you're going to come away with a tie and you're going to score multiple goals, would you take that? 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Did not look great, but you would take it. And that last goal by them was somewhere between world class and just below world class. But you can't give them the opportunity. The problem was giving them opportunity to allow for the shot, not the shot itself. You're not stopping that shot once it's off. Like that's just it.
I totally forgot to hit a super that we got while Jo was on. So we're gonna hit this and then have it inform where we take the convo because it's something that we should talk about anyway.
Yeah, I got some positive and negatives, and that's on my list.
Yeah. So thank you for the $2 super. Yes. What did Atlanta do to take Rusnak out of the game? I'll just give my take on this, Hunch, and then you can cook. But I mean, in the first half, what they did to take not just Rusnak but the whole offense, let's be real, was they got a goal and sat on it and put all their numbers behind the ball and just were like, no one in this front four we're not going to let you do anything because we're sitting on a own goal, 1 goal lead that we got in the 7th minute. So like I don't think De La Vega didn't, like we talked about, didn't have like the greatest first half. Ferreira didn't have the greatest first half. Moose didn't have the greatest first half. They set up shop, man. Like that's, and like part of being a good MLS team is knowing how to break down teams like that. But I don't think they did anything special towards Rusnak or any player. I think it was just their tactics. Did you see that different?
Well, let's go back further. What makes a team formidable and functional is chemistry. This is the second start De La Vega's had on the left, and it's on the road. Like, there's things to work out. There's interplay that are the immediate connections to De La Vega, and then there's how Rusnak, if he's going to feed into that, or if he's going to be direct to him, how he feeds into that as well in terms of positioning, dropping back, pushing forward, knowing he's going to make the run, not make the run, make a dummy run, whatever it is. That takes time, and that's on both of them as far as that goes. The one thing I will discredit Rusnak for is his set pieces, man.
Yeah.
Jesus needs to really step in. Let's start with corners, and let's also let Rusnak take some shots when he's 5-10 yards outside the 18, just to allow the defense and the keeper to put that in their mind that they need to be conscious of it. If we never do it, they relax, and clearly we're on that and on that and on that. And not even threatening. In the same way that, and we saw this in the first half, if you pressure Seattle, especially if they're pressing in the middle third, or going down the wings, and you stop, if it's not a breakaway, you know that the tendency is to pass it back and pass it around. Meaning that you're not really under threat from what Seattle's going to do, because they're likely and going to prefer possession and passing it back. The same is true with Rusnak not being necessarily dangerous on a free kick in terms of the occasional Olympico. Let's throw that in there. Or even a free kick shot in general. So since we started on this, I'll just run down my negatives and we'll come back to the positives on a high note. The own goal, obviously not great. But I think Yaymar's good for about one a year, right? And he just came back from injury. Let's get it out of the system.
So my take on that is that I mean, you could say RBW could have read the initial ball better, and that whole situation could have been prevented. But I think the deflection and the own goal itself, that's pretty unlucky. Like, that's pretty unlucky. But based on how Seattle played in the first half and a couple of the other good chances that they had their homegrown kid put one off the post, and then they had at least one more that was a pretty high quality chance. I felt like 1-0 them at the half was pretty much fair. Like, if it wasn't the own goal, it could have been one of the other chances.
Well, I mean, speaking of the half, we had 60% possession, and not that I give a crap about expected goals, but it's kind of like looking at your garden. It's like, oh, the garden's great, but there's weeds in it. I don't think my garden's unhealthy, but I can look at it and know that it's not great. If you look at expected goals and understand that it's very, very, very low, whether you believe it or not, if it's very low, it's still not great. Like that,
that looked like a 0.3.
You can just look at the shots on target.
That looked like a 0.3.
0.1. If I'm being honest, I put it on Blue Sky 0.1.
So I think the possession stats that also was reflective of
Atlanta wanted to play counter. They wanted to be counter.
Perfectly content to let Seattle knock the ball around in their end and just wait for them to put a cross in that they could clear and then counter, or wait for them to try whatever it was, like a through ball that they would pick off and then get out on the break. So it worked. That's the thing with that strategy, man. And it has not worked for them all year. I don't know why they keep doing it, but
it does with the lead.
You can get by in a half like they did. You can get by for periods of a game like that. If you score the first goal of the game in the 7th minute and you try and do that from that minute on, you are going to blow the lead. Like, even at halftime with 0.3 XG, I was like, I have zero doubt that they're going to blow the lead. Zero doubt. Like,
both teams were under one, to be fair. Both were under one in XG.
Yes, I mean, it's not like theirs was cooking that hard either, but I've seen that movie with them all year, and Ronnie Dyla has been like, we don't coach them to play like that when we have the lead. I don't know why it keeps happening. They did it again in this game from the 7th minute, which is that's the earliest.
Maybe they're not coaching to do that, but they should be coaching to not do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, to not, or at least to not forecast it, and to either keep somebody high so that you're not just completely turtling. Or, I mean, they did play the counter well, and when they countered, they were threatening at times. And there were a few times like where they just kind of fumbled it, and I forget who it was. Lav, I think he fell down, and then he was begging for a call, and then eventually they stopped the game, which was nonsense. But yeah,
it did work. Like they got the one really good look in transition from Latte Loth that came off of a situation where they were sitting back and then won the ball, and then RBW whiffs the tackle, and then Latte Loth is off to the races. And the only thing saving the Seattle Sounders from conceding a goal right there was
$75 million Obed Vargas.
Yeah, Obed Vargas freaking busting it like 60 yards.
He ran him down, and I
he hawked him. He hawked him.
Obed Vargas owns $22 million Latte Loft.
Was that it? Was that it? Like Buda Baker and
the DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
That's what it would look like. Dude.
Effectively, if he could have done that 3 times over if the field was twice as long. Like he could have run him down and run him down and run him down.
Latte Loth is the fastest dude in the league, like sprint speed.
Yeah.
Like that's
not
so
anymore.
that makes it even crazier.
The price is going up. It's going up. I've been evangelizing it. It's going up.
Okay, so clearing off my my negatives here before we get to the pros.
Yeah.
RBW had his lunch eaten so many times in that first half, and
did.
not for nothing, they saw the lineup and they said, "We're going to put Almiron over there, and you may not shoot from there, you may not, score from here, but we want you to just take it to him and just eat his lunch," and he did.
It's good reps to have for him, though.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not down on RBW, but that was a liability for the team, and amplified it.
I think we can safely just say that, like, characterize the RBW situation as a situation where he's got like a clear thing in his game that he needs to work at, which is his defensive positioning and his 1v1 defending. And if they're able and like where he is right now, if you're going to give him a large complement of minutes, you're going to have to live with like the growing pains and the mistakes. Like,
well, it's like Andy Thomas
that the coaches have to make, if that's like how much they want to put into that development versus how much they think like an individual defensive error in these games might hurt them. But like, I think that's just what it is right now. Like he's either going to develop through that stuff through experience or he's not. And you have to give him run and live with the growing pains.
Same as Thomas. Yep.
Yeah.
And the thing is he bit and he bit hard, and that's what a veteran is going to take advantage of. And it's just a matter of like, you've got to be prepared that this dude's going to try and clown you. And don't go for the first thing. Don't expose yourself to by going in earlier to try and dispossess and exposing yourself to being beaten down the wing because he's just going to knock on or pass or whatever it is. Be controlled, be neutral, be prepared, and take away the average. And if he just absolutely world class you, then I mean, you or anybody else, that's just going to happen. But don't give it to him.
Yeah.
Don't open it for him. Yeah. And that's going to come with time. You're 100% right. Christian, man, he had some good defensive tackles, but overall,
it's fatigue stuff, man. Like these giveaways and these
Founders named him man of the match, by the way.
I thought it was
just as
it was a tale of two halves for the whole team. But the double pivot in the first half wasn't good, and that was part of the issue, I think. But it wasn't just them. There was a lot of giveaways, a lot. Christian had several, and it's like, does he ever do this stuff if he hasn't played 2,000 minutes in the last 5 weeks? Like, no. Like if he's playing a normal workload, that stuff doesn't happen. I think it's pretty clear that I don't want to see him play like a minute in Leagues Cup unless they make the final. Just like literally give him that tournament off. And I don't know. We'll talk more about how we think they should handle Leagues Cup in the future. But what else you got?
We're used to him being impactful, and he just wasn't as much as in his normal self as far as that goes.
Yeah.
As for my positives, Osaze, obviously first goal. It's kind of sad that the celebration ended up costing us that minute, but how can you
what are you supposed to do? Just run around?
Yeah, no, exactly. How can you turn that down? You can't.
Come on, man. First MLS goal looked like the game winner.
De La Vega, he's a stock. I'm investing. He's improving. He's just doing exactly what we need. He's showing he needs to be there on the left invest, invest, invest. Let's amplify this.
Hey, you guys buy low. When you're selling low, I'm buy. No, I don't know. I'm not buying. I'm not buying yet. I'll buy when it's at $100 billion. I'll lose money.
You've defined it.
Okay. I'm here to lose money.
KKR, I think he looked pretty good, especially crossing into the middle and in possession. It was dangerous. I mean, they had to consolidate and collapse in order to prevent him from some of the dangerous possession and dribbles he had. And he looked good in his positioning, I thought, even in the late sub there. Kent, I thought was pretty decent. He looks like he's kind of like relaxed a little. Still has room to improve, but
I thought it was the best I've seen from Kent in a few weeks.
Exactly.
I know it was only like 10 minutes and it was only a couple little sequences, but
run him for Leagues Cup.
It was give him a hell of a run in Leagues Cup. Yeah.
And the last I'll say is tie on the road, man.
Yeah.
Can we really complain? It's unfortunate. It's a tie that feels like a loss, but points on the road.
An East Coast road draw is always at least fine, even if you scored a goal in the 96th minute and then conceded the equalizer in the 98th.
Well, in all fairness, the Sounders scored 3 goals in this match. So how we didn't walk away with all the points?
That's true. You gotta
that.
think about that. We did score 3, so
Yamar had 1 goal, 1 assist.
He did. He had 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, man of the match performance in my book.
But we had some great assists from folks who needed it, and I'm glad they can contribute. And I'm so happy for Osaze. And man, I hope he gets some run in Leagues Cup, and I hope he delivers, because him and Musovski being a dual threat and then being able to connect it potentially with Jesus and Rusnak, if we can just make that sort of ecosystem work, it's doable once Jordan's out.
Can actually become something that would be such like a boon for this roster. And honestly, I feel like with the way the attack and the system is set up right now, it's kind of like we're seeing it with Moose. It's kind of like a number 9's dream. Like, you're going to get your chances. All it is if you're like of the cut of the cloth of the type of guys that can consistently make those shots. And Osaze, you couldn't have better genes for it. So
I'm going to put it down here. July 26th, 2025. Osaze is the next Vargas in terms of where we have potential. In terms of if we feed that, I think there's a potential there over the next two years or so.
I think there's more potential for that than people might think of a guy who is coming from Defiance, sort of out of left field. Because look, the genes thing is actually real in that when like other clubs see like, oh, it's Dwayne De Rosario's kid, like that, like
his other son's a goalkeeper, so
that
like,
automatically, it's like one of the best goal scorers in MLS history, so that automatically gives you like a little bit of cred. But if you look at how Osaze was playing in the CPL, Canadian Prem, he was pretty dominant.
Or Next Pro. He was Golden Boot in
but
Next Pro.
Next Pro people aren't necessarily going to put stock in.
That's fine, but when you're like scoring 4 goals a game, you're pretty clearly like light years ahead of.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm talking of it more from a perspective
heard. Yeah.
How other clubs might perceive it.
I think for any offspring that has talent and is recognizable talent of someone who is a professional, especially within the same realm, but even within the same, let's say, genre, so sports overall, but especially if it's like a soccer father with a soccer son, or
because you grow up with the game.
Well, I don't think it's that.
Like it's in your DNA.
Let's go nepotism.
But also, I was gonna say part of it is that like oftentimes if your parent is a famous athlete, they have a lot of money to get you like the best training and resources to become the best athlete you can, and that's oftentimes why you see the kid is actually better than the parent in a lot of cases.
And that's why I didn't make it.
Well, all that's true. What I'm saying is that you still need to have the raw pure talent to be successful. Like, that just has to be there. And of course, coming from genes, ideally, that does have that. But what I think you get is the pure advisement, regardless of whether it be basketball, F1 racing, soccer, doesn't matter. You have someone who you can truly trust, who can curb the highs and the lows for you and allow you to focus in a way that other people just don't have that opportunity. And I think he might have that, obviously, with his heritage, but he also has the skill. So there's the opportunity to allow a consistent growth without getting too down if it's not getting minutes, or getting too up because you get in the League's Cup and score 3 goals.
It was a nice header. Like, it knew who put him right on him, and it's like point blank. But what I liked about what he did there is the body positioning, shielding the CB off where the cross is going, and then like, what's he gonna do? Like that's making it easy on yourself, like by like smart positioning. So that's like good number 9 stuff. If he can do stuff like that, I feel like he should be able to score goals in this system.
And yeah, he won't. No Ohio. He's going to come in. He's going to sit. But, you know, it's a good dream to have.
I'll leave it on that. What is y'all's take on the Noah Ohio? And like, let's talk percentages in terms of this year or ever, as what actually happened.
Like if it's going to happen?
50-50.
I mean, I don't know. Like, based on what I've seen most recently, it's still, pretty much 50-50.
It's up to him. Where it's at is he needs to decide if he wants to come to MLS, if he thinks that MLS is a step back because he is a European player. And so it's really just up to a player's decision to say, is this worth it for my career? Because that's literally where it is. And at that point, if I'm him, that's a 50-50 decision, right? Like, if I'm being honest with him, like, he's probably going to get play, but you never know. If you look at the track record of, you know, young players at the Sounders, it's just, you just never know. You just never know. And so I think like.
So someone was sharing that he was getting on in the 80th minute and playing for 10. And eventually you get fed up with that. And it's like, I can't portray my skills. In addition, I just want to be on the field and stay in shape. And ideally somebody sees me perform, even if it's for 6 months in MLS versus 10 minutes periodically over the rest of the whatever league he's in. So,
I mean, I don't know what the Sounders
the player.
I don't know what the Sounders promised him in terms of playing time or talking to him about.
No,
like,
I'm sure they didn't.
And so that's kind of like where, if I'm looking at the depth chart, he's number 3 or 4, depending on if Ferreira decides to become an insanely good player. Maybe he's over Moose, but it's like not in Moose's form right now.
I'm not as worried about like whatever number 9 they might sign, like getting run, because I just feel like it's one of those things where when you have as many games as these teams play every year, you're gonna get run. Like, you're gonna get your opportunities. So I think he would have his opportunities. My whole take on the whole idea is just the type of profile that we're talking about, and what kind of profiles you can make with these signings, and how likely are they to hit, like, relative to one another. Like, what I was thinking about this, if you guys saw the guy that the Columbus Crew signed, that's the type of profile, the DP striker that they signed from Al Ali. Like, if you just look at his profile, the percentage odds of that hitting, just when I see it like feels higher to me. And whereas no Ohio type profile is just fundamentally more of a dice roll. However,
but that's what happens.
Teams have had success dice rolling.
That's what happens when your budget is what the Sounders are giving.
Exactly. Well, that's
kind of where you're at. But
and I think I think it's more on transfer than salary, if I'm being honest. And I think they're just kind of waiting. And then Noah,
well, they also have
their side to say, well, I want time on the field. Get me out of here if you're not going to play me.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But they can only pay him $700,000 a year, and as a striker, like with whatever the cap space is, and so like that's like you are hamstrung by that with a player who could probably go make $1 million somewhere in Europe.
There's nothing with the U22 where that like you get.
Nope.
Oh damn! I should know that.
What does Miami it? We'll just make up a rule.
Yeah, just fucking dude. He's on loan. He's on loan. We're not even paying him.
He's a volunteer. He's an assistant coach that plays.
I said this on the podcast. Sign everyone to Ballard FC and do a free loan to the Sounders. It's the new meta. And with that,
let me ask one last question. Chances of JP or Morris coming back in rough time window for that, and we can wrap it up.
JP, I mean, I didn't see an official timeline, but I feel like meniscus damage where they had to go in and clean it up. That feels
Normally
like
6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like at 4 minimum, probably more like 6. And then Morris, it's like 8 weeks, like absolute minimum. Like he busted his shoulder pretty good.
So we're looking the last month before playoffs potentially, and making a push
potentially
for either one of them.
Yeah. So like the good news is that both of those guys should theoretically be back like closer to playoff time. The obviously unfortunate news is that until then, there's gonna be some what's the word? Mixing and matching, figuring, putting puzzle pieces together. Like it's good, with the CDM depth and the 9 depth. It's
cool. Are you guys gonna do a pre-Leagues Cup show maybe?
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of Leagues Cup content next week. Nico and I will be talking about it on kickoff on Monday for sure, and then I'm sure it'll be a prominent podcast under the lights topic as well. So yeah, I mean we're diving.
Well, it'll be that night. Thursday's the first game.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to tweak the schedule a little bit. Good
Maybe
shout.
bring it up to Wednesday or so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do something like that. I'll definitely do an under the lights before that game. So
because our big game is Cruz Azul, and that's that first one, and so it's really like with the 3 signings we just had, a lot of hypotheticals. What do we see in that first match, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll be neck deep in Leagues Cup. It's time. People have differing levels of caring about that, but we're gonna be covering it because it's what we've got to cover. So, but all right, Hunch, we're at 2 hours, so Noah and I are gonna chalk it right there. But thank you for calling in as always, man. Good stuff, and we'll talk to you on the next one.
Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, that's gonna do it for us tonight, folks. Great post game live.
LobbingScorchers.com/sauce.
Yeah, LobbingScorchers.com/ or soundetheart.com/ls, LobbingScorchers.com/sauce, LobbingScorchers.com/archive. Sub to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. We're on the road to 1K followers on TikTok. It's a pretty good TikTok, so go follow that.
Like the video.
The 11 likes when there was a bunch of people.
Yo, Hunch gifting 5.
Hunch sending us off.
Let's
with the
go.
5 gifted. Appreciate you. All right, I think that's a good place to call it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on Monday for kickoff with Nico. Peace.
Some people come to Lumen Field for the tactics, for the soccer, the atmosphere, and some come for Paul Rothrock's hair. Me personally, I come for both, because I have agendas to push. Live soccer isn't just better, it's way more personal. From making friends to becoming the guy in your section that's just constantly yelling about advanced statistics. Get tickets to any Sounders match by visiting LobbingScorchers.com/tickets. You support the pod, our agendas, the vibes, and the chaos.